Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Same spot, different time. It is currently 7:14 p.m. It is much warmer in Indianapolis today. It was, I think, in the upper 40s today, which I know still sounds cold, but it was a lot nicer today than it has been the last couple of days. I have been filming a bunch of videos and doing all kinds of stuff around the house. My plan was to take down both Christmas trees today, but that didn't happen because I just got so overloaded doing stuff, talking to people on the phone, doing dishes, cleaning the kitchen, cleaning the bedroom, I was doing laundry. I've been doing all kinds of laundry today. It has been a very, very busy day. And, but now I'm starting to just kind of settle in and relax. I was actually like, right before I started, I'll hear it when it goes off, but I was like, did the washing machine, did it stop? Because I wanted to put the wash in the dryer. So I may stop this to go put the wash in the dryer just so I can get this last load done. It just stopped, you guys. I cannot believe I just started this vlog and it just stopped and I'm only a minute in. Well, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Ran downstairs, put it in the dryer, ran back upstairs. Woo! I have been washing these white sheets and this duvet comforter that I know that Alex really likes. Last year, I think I didn't take down the Christmas bedding until, like, I don't know, it was like almost a month after Christmas. So I thought, well, this year I'll take down the Christmas trees and everything and get rid of all the decorations really early. I'm gonna leave this stuff up on the patio because I like it, and you know, if it snows again, it'll be pretty out there and whatever. But other than that, the Christmas trees I'm gonna take down, and the Christmas stuff. If I get a chance, I was gonna do it like on a Peter Does Stuff video. I was gonna do a video called like taking down the Christmas tree. Like, I mean, who'd care to watch that, right? But if I get a chance to do that tonight, before I decide, like usually I'm just like, okay, I'm done. Like I have filmed enough videos, I'm done filming videos, I'm done. Like I have to kind of like draw a line in the sand somewhere because at a certain point, like I could film like 8 videos, you know, every single day because I get so excited about it. So today I was just like filming all these videos and I was like, okay, you're gonna just stop now. And so anyway, I was doing this laundry and I was I was cleaning these white sheets and this white duvet cover and stuff, which we rarely ever use a duvet cover anymore. I used to love using a duvet cover in the past, but what I have found, and I don't know if it's because we get the wrong size of duvet cover, and like, I don't know what it is, you know, but we have a California king size bed. We get California king size comforter inserts, but whenever I get like a duvet cover, it never fits. It's always like really lopsided to one side. And so then one side just has tons of material on it. It doesn't like fit it snugly. So I have decided that I no longer like duvet covers. I think they look prettier sometimes, but I'm just not a lover of duvet covers. I really just like comforters instead, of which we have so many here in the house. And so I was going to try to put all of this white bedding on the bed. I thought it, like when Alex got home, like he would, you know, really enjoy that or whatever. But I just put my clothes in the dryer. I went down there and all of the bedding is still like, it's been going for an hour and 15 minutes and it's still pretty damp. So I took it out and put my other stuff in there because I want to get my clothes and stuff done. And then I will put that back in there and dry that when do you guys do that with laundry? You have your priority laundry, you know? So I will do that because if I don't change the bedding tonight, it's no big deal, you know? But I wanted to do that. So I've been doing that. And then when I get done here, I'm gonna upload the rest of my videos. I actually did 2 drama videos today, but I was kind of like trying to wait till like 8 or 9. Let's see. Where my other video is at. I was waiting till like 8 or 9 to post my second video because I didn't want to post them too close together. Hold on a second. Let's look at my Peterisms video. I just posted my Peterisms video. Oh, it already has 2 comments on it. Let's look and see who the comments are from. Okay, hold on a second. Kayla said, Peter, please, Peter, can we take a break from meditations and have a few recovery videos? Absolutely. And then Catherine put blue hearts. I'll do some meditation videos on those. Or I'll do some recovery-based videos on there. I've really enjoyed doing the recovery-based videos. Okay, and then, yeah, I'll probably post my next video at 8 o'clock. So, about 40 minutes, I'll post my next drama video. So anyway, did all that today. What did I do last night? Oh, you guys, I have been going to bed early. I've been like really enjoying going to bed early. I think part of it is that well, the other night I got up because Boo Radley had to go out, and so I took him out. And then, but he didn't, I woke up in the middle of the night. I woke up at like 4 o'clock. But I wake up at like 4 o'clock or like 2 o'clock. But he didn't wake up to have to go out, so I didn't take him out. But the other night I woke up and I ended up watching The Queen of Versailles. But other than that, I've been like trying to go to bed a little bit earlier. Last night, Alex and I, what was I watching? Oh, I was eating some food, some snacks, and I watched America Knows Best or whatever, that game show. I like that game show. And then I watched, it's with that guy, the guy that hosts it is like an actor. He's been in a bunch of comedies. He's kind of funny. And then I watched an episode of Pyramid, and the guy won $150,000. I get so excited. I almost started crying. I told Alex, I was like, I don't know why I'm starting to cry. I get so excited for the people that win on game shows. I love it. I just think it's like happy TV, you know. I think with all of the misery and woe and sadness in the world, it's like, and all the tragedies, it's like, it's one place that there's like happiness, you know. I love Game Show Network. So we watched that, and then Alex wanted to watch, he had 2 episodes of Watch What Happens Live saved. Who was on the first one? Oh, so the first, I was not going to watch it. I was just going to go to bed. Well, I said, because it was early, it was like, at that point, it was like 10 o'clock. I said, well, I'm going to lay down for like an hour, and then when you're done watching these, like I'll watch something down here. And then when he turned it on, it was RuPaul, and that was one of the guests on Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen. And so I wanted to hear what RuPaul had to say. So I watched that episode, which was really good. And then the next one was Meredith from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I wanted to watch and see what she had to say. So I watched that episode too. So we kind of watched those and just hung out, and Boo Radley was asleep on Alex's lap. He was so sweet. And then after that, I was like, what are you going to watch now? And Alex was like, I'm not going to watch anything. I'm going to go to bed. And that was at like a little bit after 11. So we went upstairs and we got into bed, and we just kind of like talked, and Alex played his game, and we turned off the lights and did the Alexa, you know, thing with the rainstorms and waves, and Boo Radley cuddled in between us, and then I fell asleep, and I slept so good. The only thing is I'm sleeping like so many hours that that it's kind of like I'm like having like really kind of like bizarre dreams. So but that was the only thing. So yeah. And I think that's it. That was my night last night. And then I got up today, and like I said, made videos, cleaned the house, did a bunch of cleaning around the house, straightened things, organized things, doing a bunch of laundry. Yeah, just kind of getting things into order. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to film a bunch of videos, and I did. The thing is, I don't realize sometimes, like, I sat down at like 10 after 2, and I started like making drama videos, and so I made 2 back to back. But when I film a drama video, I then go and I sit down at the computer and I render it, right? Well, when I'm doing that, even though it doesn't take me 15 minutes, I mean, I don't edit my videos. I think we all know that, right? I like literally cut off the beginning and the end, which is just me sitting there like that, and then I start my video. That's the part I cut off. So all I do is cut that off, and then like I wait for it, you know. But it takes me I would say, 15 or 20 minutes. So typically every video, if my videos are close to a half an hour, takes me about an hour. And so I don't realize it, and then I look at the clock, and before I know it, it's 5 o'clock, and I haven't gotten that many videos filmed that I wanted to film, and I'm like, oh gosh, like it's almost 5 o'clock, and I wanted to do this, and I wanted to do that. So that was kind of me today, and I feel like today, like a lot of people kept on calling, and so I was talking to people. My neighbor across the street, he got like a package for me. I was like filming a video, and he was like knocking really hard, like on my knock. He was knocking on my door, and so he's very sweet. But I was like, what's going on? He was like, you got a package at my house. And I was like, oh, thank you. But then he kind of wanted to just kind of like stand there and talk. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to like get stuff done here. But I was trying to like be real nice about it too, He's a really sweet guy. So, yeah. Like I said, it was nice. It was nice outside. Almost all the snow has melted. All the ice has melted. Which, like, I'm happy about because... it means that we're having like warmer temperatures, but at the same time, it's like, I think it looks so pretty. Tanya and I were talking about that last night. We were like, it looks so pretty outside. And, but I'm sure we'll have some more snow in January. I actually haven't looked at the weather to see what the weather is supposed to be like. So I have no idea. Hold on a second. I went into my recovery apps. I have no idea. What are those? My recovery apps, I have them all together. Like, like how you have like entertainment, photography, like it puts them into categories for you. Okay. My recovery apps, which is my 10th step inventory, and then also my 12-step companion, which is where it like counts the days. Do you guys want to know how many days I've been sober? Okay. 28.3 years, 336.35 months, 10,239 days, or 245,729 hours. That's how many, all the times. They put it underneath a section called lifestyle, which that's really interesting to me. So let's see what the weather is. This weather app and Goodreads are always like my hardest apps. They always like either close down or they're just like see it close down. Okay, so let's see. It's 44, it feels like 37. Today the high was 49. Tonight the low is supposed to be 40. Let's see. Tomorrow 53, Friday 53, Saturday 47, Sunday 51, Monday 50, oh my lord, 56, Tuesday 62 degrees, rain almost all these days. Wednesday 45, it goes from like 62 to 45, drops almost 40 or 20 degrees. Thursday 40 degrees, Friday 44, Saturday 48, Sunday 45, 42, 44, and then Wednesday the 11th is 41. So it doesn't look like we're really going to have that much bad like snow or anything. What's here? The Saturday the 8th, rain and snow showers in the morning, changing to rain showers in the afternoon. In the evening, cloudy with rain and snow showers, diminishing in the evening, a few breaks and the clouds late. That's like the only day that we're seeing like any kind of snow or anything though, that I can see on here. My foot is itching, I don't know why. So, that's that. Let's see what people are saying on Twitter. Jody tweeted me and she said about Trisha Paytas signing onto the cast of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Peter, Monn, we need thoughts. That's my video at 8 o'clock. Surprise. It's just tweets are not loading right now. So weird. Who could that be knocking at my door? All the things that people post on Twitter. Are any of you like on Twitter like all the time? Like, I see people that like literally post on Twitter. I mean, it's, you know, enjoy what you enjoy. Why is it saying that it can't refresh my feed on Instagram? I'm having all kinds of problems with all kinds of, oh, Tanya sent me a post, and she always sends me these things that she thinks are real funny. See, she sent me these 2 dogs in this car that are driving. She thinks it's so funny. And if I don't respond, she gets her feelings hurt. I don't know what I was going to say. I was asking you guys a question. Were there any of you that spend like, I crack up because Sarah, Alex's best friend, she like posts on here, like on her Instagram, she like posts a picture, but then she'll post like all of this, like this huge, like, and I made up one and then I sent it to her. She sends like all of these, or she posts like all of these like things underneath there, like, I love you, Muffin, see you in a couple months for our birthday. She's so hilarious. She cracks me up. And then I like, when I follow people, okay, so I was like looking at Sloan. Do you guys know Sloan, the commentary channel? He had on this like, this is what I was looking at. He has on this like jacket. I wish people would tag stuff. He has on this jacket that I really like. It's like this camouflage looking kind of jacket. People never tag their like brands and stuff like that. I remember back in the day when people did that all the time. I mean, I guess I could just reach out to him and be like, hey, where did you get your jacket? I just wish people would make it easy and they would just like, and then it's funny, it's like friends of mine that are like out of town and I'm like, oh, you're out of town? I didn't even know that you're out of town. Oh, but like, okay, so are any of you like on social media like 24 hours a day? Okay, I'm saying this as I'm like sitting here literally, oh, there's Mel. Mel always posts yarn stuff. There's a pillow that she likes, okay. There's a Christmas tree that has a cactus ornament, gotcha. She posted me, well, I gotta get going. Person, do you have plans? Me, nope, I'd just rather be at home. That's why we're friends. So anyway, to any of you, just like you're on social media like all the time, I feel like I see people, like I was talking to Alex about this last night, like he was like literally like on his phone, just like rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And I said, do you ever get tired of being on your phone? He goes, no, but I'm not on my phone all day long. Like you are, is what he said. I go, I am not on my phone all day long. I'm really not, you know, because I'm like doing stuff around the house or filming videos or whatever. And so it was funny because when we were talking about that, I said, you know, like when I wasn't posting videos, I really was almost never on my phone. You know, I might like get on my phone like one time a day to check things. You know, I read the Vloggerino group posts and things like that, you know, which was so nice because it kind of kept me feeling like, you know, I felt like people cared and things like that. But I really didn't. Like, I watched TV shows, I did my meditations, I talked to my neighbors and things like that. But I really wasn't on social media, and I have to tell you, like, I really did not miss it at all. And I think it's so easy for us. You know, like, I sit here and I'm talking about it, right? Like, so I don't want people to think like I'm passing judgment on it, but I'm not passing judgment on myself. I'm very quick to judge myself with this too and be like, why did you just sit here? I mean, I can sit here and watch a TV show and at the same time be rolling on my phone and be like, okay, you just spent and this is what'll happen is like, I'll get on Facebook and then I'll be like, oh, I haven't seen her for a while. What's she been up to? And then I go to her Facebook page and I'm like rolling through, and before you know it, it's been a half an hour of my time looking at somebody that I don't even really care that much to begin with. I mean, I joke about this when I talk about it, but it really is the truth, right? Or I'll sit there and I'll get on Twitter and I'll read what all these people are saying. But what I do notice, especially on Twitter, is that there are people that post literally constantly, like every 20 to 30 minutes, if not more than that, you know? And I'm like, I just can't imagine being that consumed with it. And, you know, several years ago, and I've told several YouTubers this because it really helped me at the time. You know, my going through therapy the first time, one of the things that he recommended to me, he was like, do you have to be on your phone 24 hours a day for, like, you know, drama and keeping up with the stories and stuff like that? I said, well, not 24 hours a day. And he said, well, how many times a day do you think you need to check your phone to look at Twitter or things that are going on? And I said, because I do, like, for my drama channel, I do look on Instagram. I look at certain people's accounts. I think you all know the same 5, you know, and I look at what they've posted on Instagram or Snapchat or Twitter or whatever, right? And so I do look at that. And he said, well, how many times a day do you realistically need to get on social media? And I said, you know, honestly, probably once or twice max. And he said, okay, we're going to pick out times for you to get on your phone, and then that's what you're going to limit it to for a while. And I can remember being like, like, that was my immediate reaction to it, was like, oh my God, like, I can't get on Twitter whenever I want or whatever. And part of the problem was that Twitter, I was finding that Twitter was very negative for me at the time. Now I can get on there and it's toxic. We all know that. People write so much negative stuff on there, but it kind of is one ear out the other. Like, it doesn't really bother me the way that it did. I take it with a grain of salt. But at that time, it just was really bringing me down a lot. And so that was what we were talking about. And so I started doing that, where I was only checking on Twitter like once or twice a day. And I found out a couple things. One was, which I didn't really need to be spending that much time on social media, because I wasn't, like, I was kind of like using that as an excuse, like, oh, I have to do this for this channel, when really looking up stuff for my channel was maybe like 10 to 15 minutes. The rest of it was me just like scrolling and looking at things. You know, and I think that we live in a world, and I'm applying this to myself when I say this too, okay? I think we live in a world where it is so easy for us, no matter where we're at, to pick up our phones and start scrolling, whether that's on Instagram, whether that's on Twitter. And I don't count like playing games, looking at videos, or like watching like shows on your phone. I mean, I'm not saying that phones are bad. And I don't even think social media is bad. I know a lot of people that have made real life friendships through social media. I have myself. I've made lots of real life friendship through social media. I don't think social media at its core is a bad thing. I think it's what we do with it. For me, and this is one of the things I want going into 2023, is I want to spend less time scrolling on social media on my phone. You know, I find, like, I will say this, like, one of the things I stopped doing in 2022 with Instagram was that I used to follow like all of these YouTubers, all of these influencers, things like that. A lot of guys that, you know, had beards and were really built and all this kind of stuff, and that I thought were very attractive, and, you know, or like a lot of like guys that were very fashionable, and those kind of accounts I found made me feel worse about myself. You know, I would see these guys that like literally are in the gym every other day or every day, and I'm not that. And so I'm looking at these accounts of these beautiful men, and I'm not saying that I'm not, you know, beautiful, or I don't feel that way about myself, but in response to that, I didn't feel that way, and so it made me feel worse about myself. And I just went in there one day, and I just deleted I just unfollowed like all of those guys. I mean, they aren't even accounts that you guys would probably know. They're just accounts that like came up or were suggested to me, or people that I had followed for like several years. And I just like, and it was weird because at first I was kind of like, it was kind of hard for me to unfollow them, because there were people that, even though I will never meet them or know them in my life, like, I knew people they had dated by just what they post on Instagram or places that they had gone. Like, I feel like, is this what we call parasocial relationships on YouTube? I feel like by just having looked at their posts, like I kind of like knew them or something, but I didn't. And what I realized was specifically those accounts made me feel worse about myself. Then there were the YouTubers that I never talk about in videos, that I could care less about what they're doing today, in all honesty. And I feel like their life is a fabrication anyway. And so I unfollowed them. And what happened was I instead started following people in my own personal life that I hadn't been following already, why I don't know. And I started following a lot of senior dog rescues and also just dog rescues in general. Because at that time, the only one that I was following was this account called Wolfgang. I don't know, probably a bunch of you out there follow. I could tell you what he's called. But he has like 6 dogs, a turkey, and a pig or something like that. Anyway, he's always posting stuff about dog rescues, and he's a really nice guy. Oh, my husband's picture is suggested on my Instagram suggested pictures. Is that not so funny? Look at that. There's my husband's picture on my up there. But now when you go through my suggested, it's so funny, you guys. It's like literally all Christmas pictures. And then there's like dog rescues, animal pictures, and drag. All drag stuff, because that's what I look at. So anyway, what's the Wolfgang 2242. Life with Senior Dog Rescues, Bikini the Pig, Betty the Chicken, and Cranberry the Turkey. And here's his dog, Fernando, who I love so much. Isn't he so sweet? So anyway, but I changed what I was following on Instagram, and I have to tell you guys, and then you guys know, like at Christmas time and Halloween, I started following like Halloween accounts and Christmas accounts, and then I was reposting all these pictures. Like I love the pictures of like the illustrations where it shows like a mouse's house and like a tree cubby and all that kind of stuff. And it really changed. Like when I would look through Instagram, A, I wasn't spending that much time on it anymore, and B, I found myself more kind of delighted by what I was looking at instead of finding myself sad or it was bringing me down. And then on Twitter, you know, I stopped a couple years ago, really, like when my therapist suggested that, I stopped posting very much on Twitter. And I just went in and I just started posting like the Halloween countdown, the Christmas countdown, which I'm still doing even though both are over, and my videos. And that was it. Every once in a while, I'll go in there, like if something pops off drama-wise, and I'll say, what do you guys think about this? Because I want to use it for a video. But other than that, I very rarely post stuff. You know, I might post something funny or like the other day I posted a comment about the Queen of Versailles. But, you know, I'm just not that active on Twitter. And that's not to say that I don't enjoy it. I just find that there are so many other things that I could be doing. And I'm not going to shame anybody for doing it. My husband loves social media. My husband's, I mean, he doesn't spend a lot of time on Twitter or Facebook, but he loves Instagram, you know? And so there's nothing wrong with it. And I think people that enjoy it, and that's where they find their enjoyment, they should continue to do it. I just know for me, when I spend a lot of time on social media, I find myself asking the question, could I have been doing other things? Could I have been spending my time, you know, reading or listening to an audiobook or filming a video or, you know, just doing something that would make me happier, watching a show or something like that. And so going into 2023, I want to be very, very aware of how much time I'm spending on social media, number one, but also where I'm spending that time. Because like I said, the accounts that I was following on Instagram, a lot of what I was following wasn't bringing me very much happiness, you know? And I don't know, maybe I need to do the same thing on Twitter. But I think on Twitter, it's a little bit more personal. Like, I don't want people's feelings to get hurt. I know this is stupid, but like if you unfollow them, people's feelings get real hurt about stuff. Hell, I was just talking about that the other day in a video. I think it was on my vlog, talking about my friend, you know, that I didn't, was that my vlog or my Peterisms video where I was like, I didn't understand why she had unfollowed me on Facebook, and I asked her, then she friended me again, and then like a year later she unfollowed me. I didn't get it, you know, and she blamed it on her husband. But you know, I remember and I've talked about this on here before, an interview that I saw with RuPaul, where RuPaul was asked, like, do you watch a lot of horror movies? And RuPaul, and I've talked about this, like, many videos, I think, on here. RuPaul said that he had to be very careful of what he lets in, because he doesn't want to let a lot of negativity in. And that horror movies for him are negative. I don't feel that way about horror movies. I do have to be careful if I watch too much of it, like in a row. Like if I watch like 3 horror movies in a row, it can be a lot for me. Like I do have to be kind of careful of that. Or if I watch a lot of like true crime in a row, I then have to kind of watch something that's kind of happy, because it really does bring me down a lot. That is not so much for me as much as it is seeing people complaining and being negative when they have lives that they should be very grateful for. And that's really hard for me to see on social media, you know? And so, and I don't engage in it, you know, it is what it is. And I try not to be a part of that. I try to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. I don't know what I'm rambling about. It doesn't matter, but everybody in my life would be like, well, if you don't like it, then just don't go there and look at it. And that's exactly it, right? You know, if you have an issue with it, then just don't spend your time over there. So I spend a very limited amount of time on Twitter. But when I do find myself going to Twitter or Facebook and spending any kind of period of time, I find myself putting down the phone and being like, why did you do that? Like, why did you put yourself through that, you know? Does anybody else feel that way? I mean, why did we do it then, you know? I think we're going to see kind of, you know, I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot of people go back to, I think like, you know, I feel like it's going to stop here in just a second, but I can't really tell. Like, I feel like it did stop. I feel like some social media outlets like TikTok and things like that have made it really easy for people to enjoy, you know, entertainment in a really quick way. You know, it's like younger people, I think their attention span, you have to catch their attention span in something like the first 21 seconds. And so that's why I think TikTok has worked so well. I think that the pendulum is going to switch back the other way. And I think people are going to start loving long form content again. But that's something completely different. That's like YouTube, you know? And I think that's it with Twitter is, somebody can throw out a statement, somebody can respond to a statement, and somebody can go back and forth. One of the things that's interesting to me is when I'm reading this, like for drama videos, and I literally see like the same 2 people go back and forth like 10 tweets in a row, and they're vicious towards each other, like really, truly vicious, really angry, nasty statements. And I'm like, you don't know this person? I'm not talking about with the influencer or the YouTuber. I'm talking about just with somebody else they're commenting in. You know, it's vicious and it's angry, and I'm like, you're really getting yourself worked up for all that. I don't want that. I don't want to get that worked up over, you know, just having an opinion about something. It's just not that worth it to me, I guess. Which is why I just spent the last 20 minutes rambling about this. I don't know. I guess I'm really just asking, like, do you guys ever feel like you spend too much time on social media? You know, do you ever ask yourself that question? I don't know. Alex is out to dinner right now with some girlfriends because one of his very good friends that he used to work with is moving at the beginning of January. She and her husband are moving, and so this is like their farewell dinner. So he is having dinner with her, and I'm drinking this lukewarm coffee. And I just did a load of dishes, so I have to unload the dishwasher. And then I'll probably watch Game Show Network or something like that. He said he wasn't going to be home real late. I can't remember where he said he was going. 412, I never know these names of these places. Beer Garden in Fishers, or they were going to some place like that. Bar food kind of stuff, you know. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today. Those are my serious thoughts for today about social media. The thing is, I can sit here and I can talk about it for 20 minutes. When you spend as much time alone as I do, like throughout the day, because, you know, I'm at home all day long by myself, with the exception of Boo Radley. You know, when you spend as much time alone as I do, like, you think about these things. Like, I spend time thinking about this stuff, right? But then the thing that's funny about it is, like if I were to have a friend of mine that we were having a conversation about it and they said, well, I love social media and I love Twitter and I don't think it's toxic and whatever. I think today my response would be, okay. Like in all honesty, like I wouldn't feel the need, like maybe in the past I would have, because I always was such a right fighter, like my mom, and you know, like I was talking about that yesterday, and I always had this need to like be heard and, you know, like have a discussion, which was really an argument. You know, I don't care today, you know, and the reality is this. If somebody enjoys being on social media 24 hours a day, be on social media 24 hours a day if that's what makes you happy. I don't care. I really don't. I'm just like kind of really asking the question. It's like I was watching this thing. Do you guys, like Caroline and I were talking about it. I feel like you kind of can't talk about anything or have an opinion about anything anymore because like there's like people feel so strongly about things. So do y'all know who Justin Anderson is? Okay, so Justin Anderson is best friends with Kristen Cavallari. He owns like a hair product business called DP Hue. He's real attractive. He has like blonde, I think he's real attractive. He has like blonde hair. His fiance is one of the Rhodes brothers that came out to their dad on the phone on YouTube. And then I think they never made another video after that. I think actually his brother makes videos, but he doesn't. And they live in Nashville and they have the most beautiful home and their dog's name is Kevin and they're just real sweet. I like them. But Justin takes to Instagram stories like all the time and is like, he just like will be sitting in his car and just like talks about one thing after another, like wanting to know people's opinions about it. And sometimes like it'll be movies and TV shows. Other times it's stuff that like, I'm like people will really come for him, like in the DMs, because he'll talk about it and he'll say this person came for me in the DMs. He's actually like had his Twitter like taken down a couple times, or not his Twitter, his Instagram taken down a couple times because of him being so opinionated. And then he'll say, oh, this Karen and her name was blah, 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 whatever and whatever. I mean, he's pretty opinionated about what he feels, but like he was talking about this one thing one day. I was actually asking Alex what he thought about this, and then Caroline and I were talking about it. I didn't really understand. Okay, so he was talking about they were flying back from New York, and they were in the airport, and they had been in the airport like for 2 hours. They had like a 2-hour wait in the airport. So they were going from like restaurant to restaurant to restaurant, trying all these different restaurants, right? To restaurant. And he said that you would like go order, and then it was like this iPad thing that you would order on, right? And before you could sign out to like pay, it had like a tip bar thing. I don't know why this intrigued me so much that he brought this up, but I feel like it's one of those things that you can't really talk about, or, you know, whatever. And he said on there, I'm a big tipper. He goes, as a hairstylist, because he was a hairstylist for a long time. He was like, I like to tip. I'm a big tipper. And I'm like, I'm a big tipper too. Like, I love to tip. And I love to make somebody's day. And especially if like the service is like over the top, like I love to tip people and surprise them, you know, and that's not me patting my own back. That's just, I think it's really nice to do. I think we all should do it if you can afford it, you know, whatever. I think, I don't know, like, anyway, so, but what he was questioning was that you never really, at certain places, come in contact with somebody, or they aren't really, there's not even really service that's being provided. It's not like they're bringing food to you. It's not like they're refilling your drinks or anything like that. And he goes, you know, at most, you might have to go up and ask for a ketchup packet, and they hand you a ketchup packet. He was like, but you don't even have an option to like say no tip or write in a tip or whatever. He said, it literally will say like 20%, 22%, or 25%. He goes, which are really high tips anyway, on top of how expensive, you know, airport food is. And he goes, and it's not just airport food, it's anywhere. And he goes, so, you know, I don't know. What do you guys think about these tips? And it's like every place is doing this now. No matter where you go, it's like every place is including these tips in there, which I think is interesting. And I didn't really, until he talked about it, I didn't really know that it's everywhere. But then on my Q&A that I did, somebody asked me about Starbucks' new tipping policy, which I didn't know about, okay? But when Tanya and I, maybe it was Caroline and I, we were driving through Starbucks the other day, and the guy like handed the thing, and so I had given her my card to pay for it. And so he said something to her on there about you have to like do the tip thing before you like take the card out or something like that. I can't remember what he said. And she was like, okay. So when she handed me back the card, I said, did you tip? And she said, yes, on your card. And I go, no, I wanted you to. Because I think it's important to tip, you know, and those Starbucks workers work their ass off. You know, I think it's interesting that fast food workers work their ass off, but there's no tipping place for them, is there? I don't think there is. But Starbucks forever was so difficult because I never had cash. And so it would always be like just like the cash jar that they would have. So I'm glad that Starbucks has included that now. I think it's great that they have it. And I think other places, you know, but... And then I go some places where it's like a store, and I'm like, this is so bizarre that you guys have like a tip line on here. I don't know, have you guys ever encountered that before where you go someplace and it's like, the tip line makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, given the kind of place that it is? I'm trying to think. I went somewhere the other day, and I can't remember where it was, and I was like, this is so bizarre that they have a tip line on here. I mean, it was literally... Like, I'm just making this up, but it was like a hardware store or something. I mean, it was so bizarre. I was like, I literally came into contact with not one person in this store that helped me, and they have a tip line on here. When you go other places and you get tons of help, like retail stores, you know, where people are standing on their feet all day long, helping people one after another, checking them out, there's no tip line on there, you know? So I don't know. It's so bizarre to me. But, you know, and then I have friends of mine. Well, I don't have friends of mine. I have a friend of mine who I put him in his place quickly. He was like, I think this was like a year ago. He was like, I think this tipping thing is ridiculous. And why are we tipping hairstylists? I go, what do you mean? He goes, you're already paying for a service. Why are you tipping for a service you just paid for? And I was like, because that's what you do for high quality services, whether it's, you know, a wait staff server or a hairstylist or whatever. And he goes, well, you don't tip doctors and nurses, which I think is a good point, you know. But I do think maybe we're changing. The times they are changing, you know, as far as how we look at those things. And are we going to, you know, start tipping and doing that stuff or not? I don't know. What do you guys think about all that? Put it in the comment section below. I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to start rendering this video, and I'm going to go check on my laundry, since it's been now like a half an hour, 40 minutes, and then I'm going to unload the dishwasher, and then I'm going to relax. I'm going to eat some stuffed olives and some potato chips, and I'm going to watch whatever. You want to see what's on Game Show Network? Let's see. Well, I can't, because once I turn it on, the volume will be on, and then YouTube doesn't like that sound in the background. So anyway, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Wednesday. And remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. And 3, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. And also, be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and be kinder and love yourself a little bit more, and yourselves a little bit more. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. Oh, and for those that need to hear it, and those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around, one more, I love you. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Happy birthday, Lena.